Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Nguyyen's YouTube channel. Today, we dive into the world of metabolic disorders. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are metabolic disorders? These are conditions that disrupt the body's ability to metabolize or convert food into energy. Imagine your body is a well-oiled machine, and the food we eat is the fuel. But in the case of metabolic disorders, this machine isn't running as smoothly as it should. This can result from an enzyme deficiency, which impacts how our bodies break down food or due to issues with the way our bodies store energy. Metabolic disorders can lead to a variety of health issues, ranging from mild to severe, and can affect various parts of the body, from our cells to our major organs. So let's start by understanding what causes these metabolic disorders. The causes of metabolic disorders can be numerous, and they often vary, depending on the specific disorder. To kick things off, one of the most common causes of metabolic disorders is the presence of genetic factors. Certain genes can make an individual more susceptible to these disorders, and they can even be passed down from generation to generation. Next, we have lifestyle choices. This includes your diet, physical activity levels, and overall habits. Consuming high amounts of processed foods, for instance, can lead to obesity, which is a risk factor for many metabolic disorders. Lack of exercise and sedentary behavior can also contribute to the development of these conditions. Furthermore, certain diseases can also lead to metabolic disorders. For example, diseases that affect the liver, pancreas, or endocrine system can disrupt the body's ability to process nutrients and energy, thereby leading to metabolic issues. Now that we understand the causes, it's time to look at the symptoms of metabolic disorders. The symptoms of metabolic disorders can often be subtle and hard to recognize. However, they can manifest in a variety of ways that may seem unrelated. These can include fatigue, an unexplained change in weight, or even skin changes. Additionally, some might experience frequent urination, excessive thirst, or blurred vision. For others, the symptoms might be more severe, such as difficulty in breathing or even heart palpitations. Keep in mind, these symptoms don't necessarily mean that you have a metabolic disorder. They can also be indicative of other health conditions. But if you're experiencing a combination of these symptoms, it's always a good idea to check with a healthcare professional. It's also important to understand that the symptoms can vary greatly, depending on the specific disorder and the individual. What one person experiences, another might not. Recognizing these symptoms is the first step towards diagnosis. Diagnosing metabolic disorders involves several steps and can be a complex process. The journey to diagnosis begins with a thorough medical history. Here, your doctor will ask about your symptoms, family history, and lifestyle habits. They're looking for patterns that might suggest a metabolic disorder is at play. Next up is a physical examination. Your doctor will check your vital signs, examine your body, and look for physical signs of a metabolic disorder. This could be anything from unusual weight gain to skin changes, but the real key to diagnosis lies in a range of tests. Blood tests are often used to measure enzyme levels and hormone balances, as these can indicate whether your metabolism is functioning as it should. Genetic testing can also be used to identify inherited metabolic disorders. Sometimes, imaging tests like MRIs or CT scans are needed to look for organ damage caused by the disorder. Remember, early diagnosis is critical to managing these conditions effectively. Once a diagnosis is made, treatment can begin. Treatment for metabolic disorders is tailored to the specific disorder and the individual's needs. This means that there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, but rather a range of options that can be customized depending on the type of disorder and the person's unique circumstances. Let's talk about medical treatments first. Generally, medication plays a crucial role in managing many metabolic disorders. For instance, insulin injections may be prescribed for diabetes, a common metabolic disorder. In other cases, enzyme replacement therapy could be used to compensate for an enzyme deficiency, as is the case with certain inherited metabolic disorders. But it's important to note that medication alone isn't always the answer. It often needs to be complemented with dietary changes. You are what you eat, after all. For people living with metabolic disorders, a balanced diet can make a world of difference. This might mean reducing the intake of certain nutrients, like carbohydrates for those with diabetes, or increasing others, like protein for individuals with phenylketonuria. Now, let's move on to non-medical treatments. Lifestyle modifications can be just as important, if not more so, than medication and dietary changes. Regular exercise, for example, can help regulate metabolism and improve overall health. Stress management techniques, such as mindfulness and meditation, can also be beneficial. Remember, it's not just about treating the disorder, but also about enhancing the quality of life. In addition to these, there are also alternative therapies that some individuals find helpful. These may include acupuncture, massage therapy, or herbal supplements. However, it's essential to consult with a healthcare provider before starting any new treatment regimen. And finally, it's worth mentioning that education is an invaluable tool in managing metabolic disorders. Understanding the condition, its triggers, and how to manage it can empower individuals to take charge of their health. Support groups, both in person and online, can also provide a sense of community and shared understanding. While treatments can manage the symptoms, they can also lead to complications. But with the right approach, guided by a healthcare professional, individuals with metabolic disorders can lead fulfilling, healthy lives. Despite best efforts, complications can arise from metabolic disorders. These complications are not just limited to one part of the body. You see, metabolic disorders can have a ripple effect, impacting multiple bodily systems and potentially causing long-term health effects. For instance, a metabolic disorder might trigger cardiovascular issues, such as high blood pressure or even heart disease. There's also a risk of developing diabetes, especially in cases of metabolic syndrome. In some instances, metabolic disorders can lead to osteoporosis, as the body's ability to absorb calcium is hampered. And let's not forget the possibility of kidney or liver disease, as these organs work overtime to counteract the effects of a disorder. Furthermore, the psychological impact shouldn't be underestimated. The strain of managing a chronic condition can lead to anxiety or depression. These are just some of the potential complications, and they illustrate why understanding and managing metabolic disorders is so crucial. However, there are ways to prevent these complications and the disorders themselves. Prevention is always better than cure, and it's no different with metabolic disorders. The path to prevention often starts with understanding the potential causes and risks involved. Metabolic disorders are often influenced by genetics, but environmental factors also play a significant role. One of the key strategies for preventing metabolic disorders is genetic counseling. This is especially recommended for individuals with a family history of these disorders. Genetic counseling can provide valuable insights into your genetic makeup and the potential risks you may inherit. It can also guide you on steps you can take to mitigate these risks. Besides genetics, lifestyle choices significantly impact our metabolic health. It's crucial to maintain a balanced diet that's low in saturated fats and sugars, and high in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Regular physical activity is another cornerstone of metabolic health. It helps regulate our metabolism, manage body weight, and reduce the risk of developing metabolic disorders. Avoiding harmful habits such as smoking and excessive alcohol consumption is another essential preventive measure. These habits can cause havoc on our metabolism, leading to various metabolic disorders. Regular medical checkups are also an integral part of prevention. Regular screenings can help detect early signs of metabolic disorders. Early detection often leads to more effective treatment and can prevent complications. Stress management is another important aspect that shouldn't be overlooked. Chronic stress can disrupt our metabolism and contribute to metabolic disorders. Hence, incorporating stress management techniques like mindfulness and relaxation exercises into our daily routine can go a long way in maintaining metabolic health. In essence, prevention of metabolic disorders involves a multi-pronged approach. It's about understanding our genetic risks, making healthy lifestyle choices, and keeping a regular eye on our metabolic health. Remember, it's never too early or too late to start making changes for better metabolic health. Every step, no matter how small, counts towards a healthier future. By being proactive, we can minimize the risk of metabolic disorders and lead healthier lives. We've covered a lot today, from understanding metabolic disorders to prevention strategies. We've delved into the causes and symptoms, from genetic factors to environmental triggers, and the myriad ways these disorders can present themselves. We've looked at how they are diagnosed, the complex processes behind confirming these conditions. We've journeyed through the routes of treatment, both medical and non-medical, and the potential complications that may arise. And finally, we've explored prevention strategies, emphasizing the importance of proactive health management. Remember, knowledge is power, Understanding metabolic disorders is the first step in managing them, whether it's for you or a loved one. This journey through the intricate world of metabolic disorders has been enlightening, and we hope it's been the same for you. As we wrap up, let's remind ourselves that our health is a lifelong journey. Thank you for joining us on Dr. Nguyen's YouTube channel. Stay healthy and remember, your health is in your hands.